welcome to the third annual Focus Digital Star Awards. We're going to start this session with a little video. Can I get the first trailer, please?
Germany is a land of ideas, a land where great engineers, inventors, and visionaries have developed numerous innovations to bring people closer together. Innovations ranging from automobiles to communications. Innovations that shape our modern digital world to this very day. Very few markets have been so strongly affected by digital innovations as the media, a process that began in the early 1990s. 1993 saw Germany's first print medium created with digital logic, Focus, the news magazine. Focus is the news magazine for politics, business, and society, but also for technological opportunities. But Focus doesn't just present these innovations in every issue. Once a year, this news magazine draws the best minds from small startups and large research and development divisions to the DLD conference stage, and presents them with the Focus Digital Star Award, one of the most significant accolades for innovations made in Germany.
As you know, ResearchGate is a platform for scientists. Not everyone understands what we're really doing. But this prize is an affirmation of that, what we're doing something right, because it is connected to the whole society, and the whole society needs it. And the prize proves this.
Today, Focus welcomes you to the Focus Digital Star Award 2015. Here are the people who will shape the future of the digital world.
So today we're going to honor digital innovations made in Germany. A high-profile jury assessed innovations by German startups, German companies, and research institutions. And I'm very excited today to present the three winners to you and then have a chat with them about tech in Germany and what it's like to found a startup in Germany later on. So without further ado, the Innovation of the Year award goes to a startup that plans to become no less than the banking standard of tomorrow, Credit Tech. Let's have the Credit Tech clip, please.
You know, what we're doing is essentially digitalizing the banking industry over the next years. So Credit Tech has the goal of basically bringing what Amazon has done to the e-commerce industry, bringing that convenience and efficiency to the financial system. We founded the company and have grown, to a 3-digit number of employees by now. We're hiring between 2 and 3 people per week currently. What you will see here is like young, passionate, smart people. So that's the kind of, spirit that you usually wouldn't see in a company this big, and you certainly wouldn't find in a traditional bank.
And here is what the jury had to say. Banking is one of the sectors which will be newly defined through digital innovation. Credit Tech's intelligent utilization of big data as the basis for credit allocation shows that digital analysis can drive better decisions with a higher level of security. Their international achievements speak for themselves. Credit Tech is the clear winner. So come on stage, Sebastian Diemer, CEO of Credit Tech, winner of the Innovation of the Year Award.
Thank you so much.
Sebastian, congratulations. Oh my God, it's heavy.
Thank you. Whoa, that's heavy.
Yes, it is.
Thank you so much.
Congrats.
Thank you.
So, one question for Sebastian. How is Credit Tech going to change the banking world?
Right. So banking is a really interesting industry, right? We live in an age where ordering a new pair of pants through Amazon takes you something like 10 seconds. However, if you want to inquire about a credit or actually go in the process of receiving credit or basically interacting with your bank, it still requires you to go to a branch, talk to somebody, fill out papers, wait for a few weeks, and then based on your credit score, you would get a yes or no and potentially your funding. Now, Credit Tech is going a whole different route. We're looking at big data, anything that we can find in the internet about private individuals. So we would look at social media, e-commerce, bank account transactions, even the locations that you go to, who you go to these locations, the kind of wording that you use in your internal communication with friends. All this data gets analyzed by an algorithm, and within seconds we can score everybody on this planet, including the 4 billion people who do not have a credit score or any access to consumer finance, with that algorithm. And so it's an algorithm that learns based on all the data that is out there, not who's a terrorist or who should see what kind of digital advertisement, but it actually figures out who's creditworthy, and it also figures out at which point of life, which banking product is interesting for a customer. So for instance, when we see somebody that gets engaged on Facebook, posts on LinkedIn that he just moved to a new city and finished his university, and we see in his bank account that he doesn't have a credit card yet, we would take all this data together and send a credit card to that customer, fix the pricing and the limits based on his personal decision, and that means that everybody on this planet can now get a credit within seconds, and the efficiency, we're talking really Stone Age when we compare this to what's going on in the banking industry. It's an algorithm that takes a couple of seconds to underwrite the funds, and then people get that credit that they need and deserve within seconds. So we're growing 500%. We raised 75 million in venture capital last year. We're a 2.5-year-old company. We have 9 offices across the globe, and we actually have big ambitions. We think that the banking change actually has the potential to come from Germany and not the Silicon Valley or Israel or any other place. And so, yeah, it's just the beginning.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a seat.
Anywhere? Or?
Pick any of the 3 to your right, please. Yeah. Okay. Next up is the Newcomer Perspective Award. It goes to Relayer Wunderbar, whose innovation will bring things to life. Can we get the clip, please?
The Wunderbar is a starter kit for the Internet of Things, a set of wireless detachable sensors and smart modules which can be monitored and controlled from your smartphone via the Internet. It packs Bluetooth Low Energy, Wi-Fi, and includes SDKs for iOS, Android, and Node.js. It's as easy as chocolate. Just break off a piece, place it on anything you want, and start programming. So, make your coat rack smart with a proximity sensor. Or keep track of your bike with an accelerometer. Or even your office gnome.
Here is what the jury had to say. Among a pool of great candidates, Relayer was the most impressive. Their novel approach offers developers unique possibilities in interpreting the Internet of Things in new ways. Best of luck for the future. Coming up to the stage, Harald Zapp, CEO of Relayer Wunderbar. Woohoo!
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. So, yeah, it's heavy. This is yours. Harald, the Internet of Things is the buzzword at the moment. What makes Relayer so unique in that environment?
Oh yeah, first of all, I have to say thank you. Thank you to Burda, DLD, to the jury. I mean, we're really privileged to get this award out of Germany, because, right question, I mean, Internet of Things is the buzzword, is the hype cycle, what we will see in terms of market potential. I mean, internet giants like Cisco, they're predicting 50 billion devices connecting to the internet by 2020, which is 5 years away. Other guys like Gartner, analysts, they are predicting and doing the math and saying, I mean, we are talking about a potential of $14 trillion in terms of products and services. And we thought about it and said, listen, I mean, to actually enable all these enterprises and their developers, we need a kind of platform. We have to make it super easy for developers on the hardware side as well on the software side, and very reliable on the cloud to develop all these solutions. Because I mean, a lot of people asking me and saying, okay, Harold, what is the Internet of Things killer app? Why it takes so long? And I think we have seen a lot of tipping points in the industry, which is cost of sensors and a couple of other things, but that's actually too long to talk about here. But I mean, one thing is as well, ease of use. So we have to simplify things, and that's what we are doing with Relaya.
That's what you did, yeah.
Exactly. We are simplifying things in a very, very playful way, by the way, as you have seen. Okay,
thank you
thanks
so much.
for the award
Great.
again.
Thank you. Have a seat. Last but not least, the third Focus Digital Star Award, the Editor's Choice Award, goes to Movil, a 100% subsidiary of the German luxury car manufacturer Daimler, which shows that the simple equation of old economy plus new technology equals new exciting services. Can we get the clip, please?
German company Movil, which owns ride-sharing service Car2Go, has acquired 2 new transportation companies to add to its portfolio and strengthen its existing services, the company has revealed. Those include Ride Scout, an app which allows North American users to search for and compare time and costs across various ground transport options, and Intelligent Apps, the company behind My Taxi, a German Uber Halo competitor that operates primarily in Europe. My Taxi is one of the first taxi-hailing apps, having launched in Germany back in 2009.
And here is what the editorial staff of Focus magazine had to say. With Movil, Daimler has shown quite impressively that it is not only startups which can offer people simpler and better services using brand new technology. With services like Car2Go and My Taxi, Movil is sure to make a global impact. The Focus editorial staff wishes Movil best of luck for the future and will follow their progress and development with great interest. And here we are, Robert Heinrich, CEO of Movil. Congratulations.
Hi.
And why don't you grab it? Thank you so much. It's heavy. Thank you.
Oh, it's heavy. Thank you very much. It's a great honor.
So, Robert, your slogan is "Let Movil take you there." Where will you guys take us in the future? What does mobility look like in the future?
I put it here because it's
sure,
so heavy.
Of course.
So, hi everybody. Thanks again. Oh, thanks DLD. Thanks Munich. It's great to be here. I love the spirit. Great event. Yeah. Where will the future take us? Well, I think the world of personal transportation is set for a disruptive change, and this change is going to be so massive. It will be affecting all segments of the market. On a high level, I'd say the future of mobility will be shared, it will be integrated, and it will be autonomous. So why shared? I mean, that's possibly most self-explaining because there's this massive trend of collaborative consumption. And we as Movil are in the midst of it because a couple of years ago, we have invented the first free-floating car sharing in the world, which has by now becoming the category name for free-floating car sharing, Car2Go. Car2Go is the biggest car sharing company in the world and the fastest growing. We operate in 30 countries, 30 cities right now. We have a 7-digit member base, and we will be adding even China to the network this year. And all I see across the world is that city governments love car sharing, and especially Car2Go, because we use the tiny, smart 2-seater vehicle, which is so space-saving and environmentally friendly in space. It's exactly what they don't have. So I see car sharing set for huge future growth. But mobility will also be integrated because we will be having all means of transportation very soon, all of us basically, available on our smartphone. And that makes a huge difference. The smartphone will actually turn into a mobility, real-time mobility companion, giving you the best option to get from A to B based on real-time data too, like weather and traffic. And I think that's actually the future of mobility on the smartphone. And Movil is doing that in a city like Munich. Download it. Even today in Germany, it even goes beyond providing data. You can do online ticketing, you can do online payment, you can basically pay the train or get the online ticket for the train. And we are creating a mobility ecosystem right now with public transport companies, but also with great other startups. Some of them received the same award that I'm privileged to receive today, like My Taxi, like Carpooling, like Blacklane, like Flixbus, great German companies. And last thought, she's about to interrupt me.
I'm moving closer.
She's about to interrupt me. Last thought, the future of mobility, and that's maybe the most interesting point, will be autonomous, because we clearly foresee in a couple of years from now, you will be tipping a button on your smartphone and a self-driving car will come up and drive you to your destination and then drop you off and move away without you having the hassle of parking, drive itself somewhere and charge. And that will be a disruptive major change of the world of mobility as we know it today. In Germany, as being an innovation hub of the automotive industry worldwide, is in an excellent position, I believe, to be in the leading role for Daimler and for Movil and many other great inventors in this beautiful country. I can say we are so exciting to be part of the movement. Thank you very much, and let's go and change the future
Robert.
of mobility.
Don't forget your award. Well, it doesn't matter. So, we
Was it
have
more than 2 minutes?
Okay, we have 3 minutes and 40 seconds. So this is going to go quick.
Speed
okay,
panel.
guys, speed panel. It's like speed dating. You know, one question, answer in 30 seconds.
Okay.
The first question goes to Harald. You founded Relayer Wunderbar how many years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
You founded it 2 years ago. What was your startup experience in Germany?
Oh,
Was it Wunderbar?
It was wunderbar, yeah, exactly. I mean, it was tough. I mean, obviously, I mean, to get money for a bright idea and a bold idea like Internet of Things in Germany, it's almost impossible. So, because, I mean, you beside the typical startup, let's say, themes, which are more in the e-commerce, and the amount of money you have to raise is a little bit smaller. Because, I mean, here you have to develop a platform, you have to think a little bit bigger. And, I mean, this was really the tough point to get the money.
Okay, and that brings me to Sebastian. In one of yesterday's sessions, the CEO of Deutsche Telekom said, the classic complaint is that there is not enough VC money available in Germany or in Europe compared to the Valley and Israel. Is that true from your perspective?
It's probably a little more differentiated. So if you look at the early and seed stage, there's plenty of capital, right? I would say it's nearly as good as the Silicon Valley. Where it gets a little more tricky is if you want to raise rounds of 10 million and above, and that's simply for the most German VC funds having a size of 100, 150 million, and you know, that just doesn't make any economical sense to invest at the you know, growth valuations and then the sizes that you need. So out of the 75 million we raised, the vast majority comes from Silicon Valley, Israel, UK, and you know, the seed stages were raised in Germany. But I think it's actually something different, and that is that most Germans don't think big enough. So if you hear the visions of most companies, it's something like, we want to become the #2 in Germany and Austria for customized dog food, right? I mean, there's no way how you're ever going to raise a big round. However, if you say, I want to change the vertical fundamentally, globally, I think capital will follow, and to be honest, capital doesn't have a nationality, so I wouldn't care where it comes from.
I have to say, I mean, capital is there. There is no German capital. So finally, we got capital, we got seed, and we got, I mean, Series A money, but not out of Germany.
Right. Yeah. So one lesson is think bigger.
Yep.
One lesson is think bigger. And Robert, a short answer, please.
Yes.
Your innovation comes from within a company. It's very different than starting a startup and doing everything from scratch. Your innovation comes from within a big company, from Daimler. I imagine you had totally different challenges than your two colleagues here on stage.
Well, I'm not sure if we have different challenges. I mean, still it's a startup company, even if our shareholder is Daimler AG. Well, I'm sure you all read the book Innovator's Dilemma, and big companies are generally said to be bad in creating new things. And in many cases, this may hold true, but Daimler really made an exception here. The reason why big companies are bad in letting new ideas grow is that they are so good at sorting out bad ideas, and revolutionary ideas and groundbreaking ideas at first glance seem to be very similar to bad ideas. But again, Daimler made an exception and had that long-term strategic view on the mobility market and made this very long-term decision to let us, as a startup, really build the market and give us the time and the room to grow to become a leading global mobility marketplace. And that is what it takes. I think it takes strategic foresight. It takes the backing of the board of the management, and that is what we have. And so I can say I'm in a very lucky position as a startup with such a shareholder.
Perfect, thank you. I just got a sign that we have 4 more minutes.
Whoa.
Lucky us, yeah. So that brings us to the last question. Yesterday, we heard a wonderful little story from Excel Partners' Joe Schöndorf. And for all of you who might not have been in the panel and actually heard the story, he told the story about during the last presidential elections in the United States, one unnamed presidential candidate, and I personally think it was Mitt Romney, but I don't know. One unnamed presidential candidate came to the Silicon Valley and asked all the important people there, what's the one thing I can do for you? And that's my question for you. If a German politician would show up at your doorstep and ask you, what's the one thing I can do for you, what would you want?
Right. So I guess the first thing...
Oh, you want more than one?
Sorry?
You want more than one thing?
2 things.
2 things, okay.
The first one is, let the capital flow freely, because I think a lot of German politicians, the politics don't really know, how they should tackle this novelty and tech businesses. So on the one hand, we have among the toughest data privacy rules. It's very kind of, especially in the fintech space, right? The regulation is a lot tougher than in most other markets. And so that kind of disturbs the free flow and often causes a reason why an American investor wouldn't invest. And then at the same time, that government tries to compensate that through government-run funds. So in a way, the capital gets blocked, and then the government says, but here's some capital who we decide how it should be allocated. So just stay out of it is probably the best you can do. And the second one is, I think, one fundamental problem that we have in Germany is we don't have enough tech talent, right? If you're trying to hire data scientists or people who are in the field of artificial intelligence, it's actually very rare that we see a CV coming from Germany.
So you want coding in schools?
Exactly. I mean, it's
Perfect.
not, it's more important that you know how the future will work than that you are able to, interpret a Goethe poem in, and kind of try to understand what he was thinking when he was writing it. Teach some coding
I'm not sure
and
about
tech.
that, but maybe we can do both things.
Maybe
coding
we can
and
do both
Goethe.
if there's time.
Yeah, coding and Goethe. Okay. What about you? What's your wish?
I go for a short answer.
Okay.
I guess what we're really missing here in Germany is business angels. If you compare the size of business angels, or the amount of business angels is around 3,000 to 5,000 in the Valley, and in the US it's about a couple of 300 to 500,000. So I would like to see really some tax advantages for these people who really, on a personal level, invest in startups, because that's a difficult thing to get. Let's say a 6-digit amount from a person believing in you and your idea, and maybe getting a little bit tax advantages here back from the government.
Okay.
And besides this, stay out of the business.
Okay, thank you. Robert, what's your wish for the political fairy?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of great talent in Germany, and I see a lot of brilliant startups, but really suffering and surviving from funding round to funding round. There is this huge lack of money. So I think the government should supplement every dollar and every euro which we seize invest into German startups by another euro or another dollar from the government.
Okay. Thank you very much. A big hand for the 3 winners, please. We'll take one last photo with Uli Reitz, editor-in-chief of Focus Magazine. Uli Reitz, please come on stage. Guys, do you have your awards?
Take your Oscars.
Your awards is right
Oscars.
here. Take your Oscars. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe I'll...
Wherever you
Come
want.
here.
The short ones in the middle, right?
Okay.
Whoops. So which camera do you look in?
Ja, genau. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.